the EFF Student Command leader, Mbombela, says that NSFAS continues to hinder the smooth registration of students at this institution.
NSFAS has been a serious problem for a very long time, and now they're making matters worse. Instead of trying to come up with a mode that is going to ensure that students apply and their application statuses are done well on time, allowances are paid on time, they are deriving this mode now of saying that applications must be closed just a day ago. This is going to be a serious problem. By the time they are done, many students will be studying. Classes are commencing now. First year students are going to be starting with their classes next week. Returning students have already started with their classes. So it's a serious problem for us. We want a new mode of NSFAS that is going to ensure that it is student-based, a mode that is going to say that all student needs must be catered for before we can even implement any other thing. And we can report that about 2 days ago or so, we saw someone was taken outside of the gate when they have fled, portraying to be someone who works for the institution. We managed to set that person up. We successfully captured them and they handed them over to the authorities. These people are taking advantage, but we also want to bring the institution in this regard, because the institution is saying that people must register online. Some people are still panicking. Some people don't know how to transition through this thing of online, and they are coming to campuses. That is where they are vulnerable. So the university itself must also ensure that it has people who are stationed outside of the gate. Much as they are saying that the system must be online, they must also have its own personnel here, because we are not paid by the institution. We don't work for them. We are here to assist students, but you can only go as far as trying to look at these people. But they must have people who are competent and well resourced in terms of how they can be able to get these particular people to ultimately capture them. We saw an individual, we captured him, and it is beyond any reasonable doubt that that person is one of the people who are scheming people here. But we want to push it students and warn them. It is only the SRC and the other people who are associated with the SRC.
And moving to the Northwest University now, where the institution has received huge volumes of applications, while they can also only accommodate a few thousand students. This report by Sinhle Nglehihi.
It seems that as we stand here currently, the resolve of prospective students who hoped for a miracle for them to gain admission after that statement issued by the university that they had reached capacity, that resolve has been totally tarnished and broken. The lines and queues that we saw earlier this morning have fizzled away. Many of them seem to have lost all hope. It seems that with the commencement of the academic year drawing close, it seems that they may have a year of no hope and having to sit at home, possibly take a gap year that they never actually prepared for. The situation as described by students here is that they have tried their very best to ensure that they apply on time. But as we mentioned, that from over 180,000 of those who applied, the university stated that its capacity is only being about 11,800. From those who have been lucky enough to get their registrations done, some have only managed to do that partially, then anticipating to get funding for registration. And remember that the university here, registration is at about 11,800. So they need to find that amount for them to be able to ensure that they're fully registered, get the student cards, and commence with the academic year. Many of them are saying that they wish that they would be able to access the university to get better details about the funding opportunities, but the university said no walk-ins are allowed. Anyone who will be allowed access into university is a fully registered student. And we understand that going on from this point, orientations are expected to start on the 5th of February, with the academic calendar commencing on the 12th of February.
And that was our report in the Northwest Province in Nglehihi. In the Free State, our reporter Mpumalanga earlier also highlighted the same frustrations expressed by students at the Central University of Technology in the Free State.
Free State Higher Institution of Learning have started with registration for prospective and returning students for 2024 academic year. At the Central University of Technology, some students have not been able to register as they wait to be approved by National Student Financial Aid Scheme. The Student Representative Council say they engaged with the management in an effort to come with an amicable solution that can benefit students, but that has not yielded good